First of all, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Paleo-Hebrew is Hamashiach Yahushua. We are the Servants Assembly, and we come to you with another Sabbath lesson. We started to do the Sabbath lesson outside, but in Mobile, Alabama, it's a terrible storm going on right now. And what's crazy is Jake and Eve still trying to throw a birthday bash out here. You know, that will, like I say, we'll stop at nothing to do wickedness, right? But so this Sabbath lesson we going into this Shabbat is a quick history on the lineage of Esau, Edom. A lot of us that's coming into this truth, you know, they don't have a strong foundation on who Esau is. In order to be able to combat it when you're actually being confronted with it by naysayers or people that believes that Esau is the Arabic man, or Esau is the Japhetic man, or he's everything that he's not. Now, he has tried his best to blend himself and hide himself among the nations, but according to the Most High in the book of Numbers chapter 118, he'll always be who he is through his father, regardless of the situation, right? So the first book we're going to go into is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
And they called his name Esau because Esau in the Hebrew means Ashashua. It means that he was wasted away. He had no melanin pigmentation. His red blood showed throughout his skin, right? So they said that he read that real quick again, if you don't mind, Baba Kusha.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
Right, so it says that he was covered all over, he was red all over like a hairy garment. So his skin was, you could see the blood through his skin, which is the definition of Esau, which is Ashashua, and he was a hairy man, right? But they said that he was red and hairy like a hairy garment. Now, what garment was that talking about? Now, in Syria and in them times of past, we would dye our ram skin, goat, and sheep skin a certain color red that we would get from a worm that was found in the Middle East, right? So the name of that worm was called the crimson worm, and they still to this day use this worm to dye that color red. It's crimson, or there's another name for it, but if anybody can see it, I'm going to put it on in front of the camera, right? See, that's the crimson worm, right? Or the scarlet worm, right? That's the color red Esau was. He was that color red. So he was red like a hairy garment, right? Now this was that ram skin that they was talking about here. Look there. That's the color red ram skin. So it wasn't no ruddy color. It wasn't all of that, you know. Esau Edom a lot to you, you know. Hold on 1 second. Kind. So the color red that described Esau Edom, that hairy garment was that ram skin right there. Yet they still die to this day in the Middle East. That scarlet red. It comes from that worm, right? The crimson worm, or the Tola worm in the Hebrew, right? Now let's get Exodus chapter 25 and verse 5.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 25 and verse 5. And ram skin dyed red, and badger skin, and shittim wood. Verse 6.
Start from the top again, Salaki.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 25 and verse 5. And ram skin.
And ram skin
dyed red.
Dyed red. So even during the time of the book of Exodus, we were using that ram skin to dye the color of our tabernacle, right? So we're going to show that one more time. Let me show that one more time. I just wanted to prove that after the Bible that's what we was doing. We was using dyed ram skin. You see that? You can see, trying to focus, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get the bloodline of Esau. Let's get Genesis chapter 36 and verse 8. Genesis 36 and verse 8. Storming out here, Israel. We trying to bring it to you.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
Where did Esau dwell?
In Mount Seir.
Right, so Esau was dwelling in Mount Seir with the Horites, a cave dwelling people. Right, go ahead.
Esau is Edom.
Esau is Jacob.
Esau is Edom.
Esau is Moses.
Esau is Edom.
Right, so the scriptures say that Esau is Edom. So when you hear Edom, you know that they're talking about Esau, right? Go ahead.
Verse 9.
And Salakia, real quick. Edom means red. So he's telling you, see, the Most High, he's using certain terminologies that we'll understand to give us who this man is in the future. He said Esau is red. He is Edom. Edom means red. Esau is red. So we're going to hold right there, right? Now keep reading.
Verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau.
Now these are the generations of Esau, right? Go ahead.
The father of the Edomites.
So Esau is the father of the Edomites, right? Go ahead. The red people, right?
In Mount Seir.
In Mount Seir, where he dwelt, right? Go ahead.
These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz,
right? Go ahead.
Son of Adah. The wife of Esau. Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau, and the sons of Eliphaz were Teman.
Were Teman, right? So Teman, I want y'all to remember that name. Remember Teman. I'm going to come back to that, right? Because that is a very, very important tribe of Esau, right? Go ahead.
Amar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Conyers. Right? So we just named some of the sons of Esau. We know that we got Ashken, we got Amalek, we got Teman, right? We got Eliphaz, right? So let's get 1 Samuel 15 and verse 8. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 8. It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 8. And he took Agag.
He took Agag. Read that again.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites.
Right. So Agag was a king of the Amalekites. Right. Now you could not have a king over you that was of another nation. We do it now, but we're not supposed to do that, right? Agag was an Amalekite. He was the king of the Amalekites. We know that Amalek is one of the sons of who? One of the grandsons is the grandson of Esau. So we know that bloodline goes down to Amalek. Now Agag was a king of the Amalekites, right? So he was an Amalekite, King Agag. Keep reading.
Alive, and utterly destroying all the people with the edge of the sword.
Right, so we just wanted to prove that. So we know that Agag was the king of the Amalekites, right? Now hold on to bear with me just 1 second. Bear with us, it's storming out here pretty good, so we're going to continue on. I just want to give you some brief history that one of our elder brothers by the name of Yakutaz, the Mighty Wolf, he kind of brought out, right? So let's see here. Okay, so here you go. Let me go there real quick. Alright, so read the title of this and then everything that's highlighted. Right?
The men who caused the French Revolution.
Right, so the name of that book is The Men That Caused the French Revolution. Go ahead, you gotta read up a little bit.
1789. Let's read what's okay.
It's highlighted. Okay. And scroll up, so it's still gonna probably be some that got lines. Get there too. Okay.
Evidence will now be produced to identify some of these international Jewish moneylenders.
Right. So so this right here is showing the identity of these money lenders, these so-called small hat money lenders. Go ahead.
In the succeeding chapters, evidence will be produced to prove that the descendants of these same international Jewish financiers have been the secret power behind every war and revolution from 1789 onwards.
Okay, so we just read that Amalek, right? Well, Agag was king of Amalek. Well, Agag was the king of the Amalekites. We know that that's the so-called Jewish man. So he's telling you here that the so-called Jewish man was behind every war, financed every war, even financed the financed the sub-Saharan slave trade and our slave trade, right? Go ahead.
The Jewish Encyclopedia says Edom is in modern Jewry.
He said the Jewish Encyclopedia says that Edom is in modern Jewry. Edom. Esau is Edom, right? In Genesis, right? That goes back to Agag. We know that Amalek is one of the sons of Esau. So that ought to show you right there that we're going back into Edom. We just read that Agag was king of the Amalekites, but he just said that the Jewish Encyclopedia, you'll find the works of Edom in it. Go ahead.
This is a very important admission.
Now this is a very important admission. Go ahead.
Because the word Edom
means
red.
Means what?
Means red.
Means red. That's why it's so important, because the word Edom means red. You see how it goes all the way back? Go ahead.
History reveals that a Jewish goldsmith.
Now, how many so-called Jewish people you see on TV named Goldstein, Goldsmith, Bernstein, Steen, right? Wicked as hell. That's what it is. But it says that a man. Start from a little bit up again, where it says Goldstein.
This is a very important admission, because the word Edom means red. History reveals that Jewish goldsmith and Michel Moses Braveur, tired of his wandering in Eastern Europe.
See, because they got tired of Edom wandering in Eastern Europe. The so-called white man was wandering around in Eastern Europe. Wandering. He's a vagabond. He got the same curse as a king. He's a vagabond. Go ahead.
And decided in 1750 to settle down in Frankfurt on the Main in Germany.
So he decided to settle down in Germany. We're going to get back to that too, right? Because Germany plays a big part in the foundation of some of the tribes of Edom. Go ahead.
He opened a shop or a counting house in the Judenstrasse district. Over the door of his shop, he placed his sign of business, a red shield.
So he put a sign in front of his business. It was a red shield, right? Go ahead.
It is of the greatest importance to remember that the Jews in Eastern Europe.
So it says that this is important because to remember that the Jews in Eastern Europe, go ahead,
who belong to the revolutionary movement based on terrorism.
So these Jews that's in Eastern Europe, they was terrorists. Go ahead.
had also adopted the red flag.
So they adopted the red flag, that Edom flag, that red flag, go ahead,
as their emblem because it represented blood.
Because it represented blood. So even to this day, that red still represents the blood. It still represents Adawan. It still represents Edom. So these early Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, adopted that red flag. Right? Now that we just said Germany too, right? Go ahead.
Father had taught him everything possible about the rudimentary principles of money lending businesses.
Right, so they was taught about money lending. If you go into a bank, just about the owner of it is a so-called Jewish man. If you ever took out a loan, if you ever had a record deal, if you ever done anything of business that has to go through one of them Steens, man, one of them goldsmiths, one of them YT men, one of these so-called Jewish men. So this is showing you that their beginning was in money lending. Go ahead.
That's how I really like to keep on.
Yeah, to the ones with the lines, you read that too?
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
But last time I read the business and stuff that business.
Okay. I'll read that one together. Oh. Shalak is, bro. Read that at the top if you can see it.
The red shield was still proudly displayed over the door, knowing the secret significance of the red shield. Amish Meyer Bagweer decided to adopt it as a new family name.
Right, so they took the shield and they knew the significance of it. So these men, let me see that? I'm gonna read that real quick again. It says that the red shield was still proudly displayed over the door, knowing the secret significance of the red shield. Amschel Mayer Bauer Rothschild, right? Bauer decided to adopt it as the new family name, Red Shield, right? So these people they gave themselves a name, right? These nicknames you hear Esau, they be having these weird last names. Last name be Steel, Forest, Tree. Why names ain't like that? And you find that a lot in Europe. They name themselves off what they want to name themselves, right? But it says that to decide to adopt it as the new family name, Red Shield, in German is Rothschild or Rothschild. So Red Shield in German is Rothschild. So these people, these early people from that rep Edom was the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds to this day, if you look them up, they'll tell you that they from Edom. They'll tell you they're Edomites. Right now, to this day, they will tell you that. That's the meaning for that red flag. So Rothschild means red shield. The red shield goes right back to Edom. So who's gonna tell me that the so-called white man ain't Esau Edom? Right? It says to adopt it as the new family name, Red Shield in German is Rothschild. And the house of Rothschild came into being from that day on, right? Now let me show you what that red shield looked like. Now what shield is that? Now those that played Street Fighter back in the day, it was a character on there by the name of Zangief. He would always grab you and slam you and jump in the air with you and slam you and all kind of stuff like that. He had red hair. He had a red hair on his chest, right? Why was he all red like that? Red everything. When you would play Street Fighter, where he was from USSR. That's United Soviet Union. He's from the Soviet Union. Now that flag goes into who? It goes into Russia, Ukraine, And all these different places here, right? Now let me show you something real quick, Israel. If I can pull it up real fast, you know I'm kind of slow. But hold on. I just want y'all to see something real quick. It says, right, so this USSR, right? It says the Soviet Union during the Cold War was the people, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Uzbek, Kazakh, Georgian, right? So you know that's going into Georgia or Russia. Azerbaijani, Lithuanian, Moldavian, Romanian, Latvian, Tajik, Armenian, Turkmen, and Estonian, right? Now let me see here. Where I want to go. All right. Now it says Edomites. Now this is from I'll get to get right back to you though. But this is it's something about Israel, but I can't remember the name of it right now. But this is the source. It says Edomites were also to be found in Armenia. Armenia, right? And later in Europe, especially in Rome, Austria, Germany, and what? Germany. Remember I said, remember Germany? Isn't that where Rothschild settled at? Didn't he settle in Germany? And bring that Edomite red joint with him? And set up that flag with that hammer? Ain't that the USSR? Why you think the United States spending so much money sending them guns to fight against each other like that, man? Why you think that the so-called Jewish man cares so much about Ukraine if he's really from the Middle East? Why would he care about that if he's not from there? It says, in addition, Edomites were present among the European ruling class in general, though several lines, many Edomites had settled in Thrace, and from that's over in Thrace, and from there moved into Germany. The Germans worshipped Odin. They worship Odin, Thor, and all that junk, right? Now, why is Odin so important? Why is it important that they worship Odin? This is why it's important. Whose name is a form of Edom. So the name Odin, if you guys can see, which you probably can't, is a form of Edom. So even the gods that they represented, Thor, all of that garbage is a form of Esau, Edom, man. I just wanted to bring that out real quick, and the water Elder Yakutas for that info, right? Now let's go back and let's go to the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1, right?
It's the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things, the king Ahaz, you rest.
We read up a little bit out.
Verse 23. And
Esther 3 and 1.
Okay, yeah, Esther 3 and 1. After these things, the king Ahasuerus promote Haman and the son of Hammedatha and a Gagite.
Who?
A Gagite.
Who? An Agagite. Remember you just talking about King Agag, right? Who was an Amalekite. He was the so-called Jewish man of that time, right? It says Haman. Now Haman Read that again. 3 and 1.
Haman, an Agagite.
So, no, start from the top again, Slaki.
Okay, come on. Verse 3, this is 3 verse 1. That's 3 verse 1. After the things, the king Ahasuerus.
So, I think it's Osiris. I can't read it from here, but if you go into another book, it'll say Artaxerxes, right? So he was the Persian king of that time, right? So the Persian king grabbed up an Edomite from the line of King Agag, which was an Amalekite by the name of Haman. Now, if you go into the book of you go into the Feast of Purim, Haman, the so-called white man, even at that time, the so-called Jewish man was still trying to kill the children of Edom during that time, even at that time. So this ain't nothing new, and we have to always remember that the Most High, His words is always going to be tied back to the truth. The history don't agree with the Most. Well, the Most High doesn't have to deal with history. History deals with the words of the Most High, right? Keep going.
Haman, the son of Hammedatha, Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Right, so his bloodline, his father's bloodline was through King Agag. So that'll let you know, Numbers 1 and 18. Again, the bloodline is gonna go through the father. Now, Haman's father was of the line of King Agag, which was an Amalekite, right? So now we know that. Let me know when you get it. I want the editions of Esther, chapter 16 of verse 10.
This is the book of the edition of Esther, chapter 16 of verse 10. And Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Amadath, being indeed a stranger from Persian blood, and far distant from God goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
Right, so Haman was a stranger of Persian blood. That's why the Persians ain't Persians no more. Trusting in Esau, Edom. Now they Iran. Now they East Indian. They everything except what they is. They destroyed Persia and gave you a whole nother name. Now you can't even call yourself Persian no more. Now you Iranian. Stop trusting in Esau. These other nations, they get taken down, man. Start at 16. 10 again. Salaki King.
This is the book of the edition of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10. For Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Amadath, being indeed a stranger from Persian blood, and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. Verse 11, had so far forth obtained the favor that we did show toward every nation, as that he was called our father.
See that? So they put the so-called white man above them, man. You know, the king put a white man above his kingdom, king of Persia, Artaxerxes. Go ahead.
And was continually honored of all the next person unto the king.
Right. So let me see where you at real quick, because I'm trying to get where you say he a Macedonian.
Yeah.
That's what you see it though?
No, that was the first verse. That was verse 10.
Okay. Read that out loud, because I think when you read it, it's I guess you kind of jumping over. Start over again.
Okay, this is the book of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10.
Right, this is the book of the editions of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10. Right, go ahead.
For Haman, a Macedonian.
So Haman, the Macedonian, right? So that's really the point I wanted to get from that too, right? But Haman was a Macedonian. Now, when you go into the Macedonians, that goes back to who? That goes back to Alexander the Great. That goes back to Esau. Now, we just read here that the Edomites were also found in Armenia and in Europe and in Germany, right? So you have to understand that the Edomites were kind of similar to us, where they knew that they was Edom, but they also knew that what tribe they was from, right? So Haman was a Macedonian, but he was of the line of the Agagites. He was the line of the Amalek, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. Let's get First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1 real quick.
This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip. So
Alexander was the son of Philip,
the Macedonian.
Right? So he was a Macedonian, but does that mean he was of the line of Agag or somebody else? No. But he was also a Macedonian, right? Go ahead.
Who came out of the land of Chittim.
He came out of the land of Chittim. Right? Now, Chittim, Chittim is known for having a lot of Edomites there too, right? Now, go ahead.
Had smitten Darius, king of Persia.
He did what?
Smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
So how you think Alexander was able to get in there and smitten Darius, the king of Persia, if it wasn't for Haman? Because see, once you put Esau in charge, he's going to take that thing down. So now Alexander's there, and now he took down the king of Persia, Darius, right? Now I'm going to read real quick from and I'm going to definitely put the source down, right? Now it says that Timon. Now remember Timon? I said remember Timon from earlier. Timon, one of the descendants of Esau, was noted for his wisdom. Give me Jeremiah 49 and 7. Now if you go into the scriptures, the people of Timon was known for having a lot of wisdom. They had a lot of foresight. They could so-called see the future. Like every nation has wise men, but for Esau and Edom, they wise men was the Timonites, right? So let me know when you got that. Jeremiah 49 and verse 7.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom.
So this concerning Edom. I'll let you know off the top. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Timon?
What the Lord say?
Is wisdom no more in Timon?
So the Most High even said, is wisdom no more in Timon? Because that was the wise men. The Timonites was the wise men. Esau got tribes too. No different than Issachar could see the future through the stars. Or Judah is the mighty lion. Or Benjamin is the wolf. Or Gad ran through a troop. We all have our own set skills, just like if you got a house full of children now and you got 3 or 4 sons. Each and every last one of them have their own set of skills and gifts that was given to them by the Most High God, and also through the bloodline of the Father. Right? So give me Jeremiah 49 and 7 again.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom.
Concerning Edom.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Timon? Is counsel perished from the prudent? So
the Timonites would give counsel. That's what they known for. They known for giving counsel. So the Most High is really just talking trash about them. Go ahead.
Is their wisdom vanished?
Is the wisdom vanished from Timon? And they stupid now? The Most High talking that talk. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan.
Go ahead.
For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
See that? So you see that Timon is still not anonymous with Esau. The Most High is saying here he's gonna destroy them, right? And the Most High was just talking that talk. Now let me get Job chapter 2 and verse 11, right? So wisdom was found in Timon, right? That's why the Most High is talking that talk. You'll find in the book of Obadiah he's talking about Timon too. 1 and 9, but I'm not going to get there.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 11. Now when Job's 3 friends heard all this evil that was come upon him.
Right? So Job was where? Job was from the land of Uz, which was in Edom. So Job had so-called Edomite friends that would come up. And when he was going through what he was going through, they came up and tried to give him counsel. Right? Go ahead.
They came everyone from his own place. Eliphaz.
Eliphaz. Right? So this man's name was Eliphaz. Go ahead.
The Temanite.
The who?
The Temanite.
The Temanite. So this man came to give him counsel. Teman is known for wisdom of Edom. So the Temanites would come and give wisdom to everybody. But his name was Eliphaz because his ancestor name was Eliphaz. Right? So what are we talking about here? Right? Now, I'm going to start from the top of this article again. It says, Teman of the descendants of Esau was noted for his wisdom. The term Teman is also used in some places to represent Edom. In general, Amos 1:12 and Obadiah 1:9. So, but I'm not going to get those real quick. The Temanites were famed for their wisdom. So they was famed for their wisdom. So that's why a Temanite came to give Job counsel and give him wisdom, right? It says, descendants of Teman were to be found among the Assyrians. So the Assyrians are Temanites. The Babylonians. The Babylonians roughly is from the line of Teman. And the ancient Macedonians. All the Macedonians were in that same area there. It says Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Freak, was a Temanite. Descendants of Edom are often noted for their intellectual and scholastic abilities. Don't they do that until this day? Think they smarter than everybody? Got their own curriculums that don't matter? They got curriculum Salakia that don't matter, but they're smarter than everybody in it. If I come up with a curriculum and I learn it, and then I try to teach it to you, aren't I by default smarter than you? But if that curriculum has nothing to do with my life, has nothing to do with what's going on, we just talking about college. All these curriculums that they got in college, all this fraternity foolishness and folly has nothing to do with my life. Because I can get right out of college and don't have a job. If you don't want to hire me, I'm not going to get hired. Because I know psychology ain't going to help me on the damn the docks. It ain't going to help me drive the trucks. It ain't going to help me pick the trash can up. So Esau is dumb. They don't know nothing. They make their own curriculums. They set their own things for to learn. If I sat out here and learned how to count every last one of these pine straws on this ground, then I make a curriculum of it, wouldn't I by default know how to do it better than you? But does it mean anything? No, it don't mean nothing, right? So it says, I'm going to read it one more time. It says, the descendants of Teman were to be found among the Assyrians and Babylonians and ancient Macedonians. Alexander the Great was a Temanite. Descendants of Edom, and often noted for their intellectual and scholastic abilities. Now we know that Alexander the Freak was a so-called white man, right? Any so-called white man would battle you to go against whether he was white, because they want him to be the white man. So by default, you can't tell me that he's not Edom. You understand? Now let's go right here real quick. I just want to pull up something real quick. You can say something real quick if you want.
Nah, man, you gotta understand, there's too much evidence, man. In the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, say the earth given to the hand of the wicked, man. I mean, who run it? You know what I'm saying? We killing each other over a piece of paper with a white man face on it. You know, no average. They ain't running nothing over here, not like Esau, man. saying that they are God. You can just go pick Google in your phone, God. Every picture pop up gonna be so-called a white man. But you gotta have an understanding, man.
Fine. I mean, you can find it anywhere you want, anywhere you look.
You just blowing up, man.
Anywhere you look. Ain't that Alexander?
You in a good time, that episode when Michael was trying to let his mom know about that picture, man. They put it in your face, man.
Yeah.
They put it in your face, bro.
Let me pull this up real quick. It's like if y'all can't see it. Right there. Ain't that a white man? Stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with yourself, man. Right? Now, I'm going to read it one more time. It says, Teman of the descendants of Esau was noted for his wisdom. We just pulled that in Jeremiah 49:7, Job 2:11. The term Teman is also used in some places to represent Edom, right, in the Bible. In general, Amos 1:12 and Obadiah 1:9, the Temanites were famed for their wisdom. Again, Jeremiah 49:7, Job 2:11. The descendants of Teman were to be found among the Assyrians and Babylonians and ancient Macedonians. Alexander the Great was a Temanite. Descendants of Edom are often noted for their intellectual and scholastic abilities. I'm going to read a little bit further down. It says, Edomites were also to be found in Armenia and later in Europe. So they said it was later in Europe. They're not the original inhabitants of Europe. We know that the Japhetic people are, which would be your Minoans, to your Samoans and Polynesians to this day. They were banished into the islands from Alexander, the Macedonian, the Edomites. That's why they're in the land right now. Rome. That's in Italy. Rome, Italy. Austria, Germany. In addition, Edomites were present among the European ruling class in general through several lines. So the Edomites had several lines, several fathers, Teman, Amalek, right? All these different sons have lines. I'm a Benjamite. He's a Judite. It's the same thing. It says many Edomites had settled in Thrace. From there moved to Germany. The Germans worshipped Odin, whose name is a form of Edom. I don't know really how far to go, but I'm going to continue with this because there's no way you can get around this, man. And I hope people can really understand. I know I'm kind of talking fast and babbling, but through the Spirit, you know, the truth will always set you free, and it feels good to know what's true and what's not, man. You understand? So let me okay, the name of that source, y'all want to look it up, it's called Hebrew Nations. Hebrew Nations is where I found that, right? It says also check out on YouTube Descendants of Jacob and Esau 7. Put Heshbon 5778. Right. So Teman is of the descendants of Esau, right? Tribe known for wisdom, right? So let's get matter of fact, give me Amos 1:11 real quick.
Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Thus saith the Lord.
So this is the words of the Most High God through the prophet Amos, right? Go ahead.
For 3 transgressions of Edom. Right.
So again, we always bring this out, and we gonna bring it out till it gets stale, man. It says for 3 transgressions of Edom: the rape, rob, and murder, the hanging from trees and not taking us down after you doing it. Just going against all the set laws that the Most High put out to govern this earth, and being parasites and being just infiltrators of righteousness and bringing in nothing but wickedness and you know, and for the rape, rob, and murder of the 12 tribes of Israel, man, for just all these innocent children and people that you guys been lying to all these years, trying to tell us who we is and who we ain't. Okay, now we know who you are. And the truth is going to tear you down. The truth is tearing you down right now. Through the spirit and physically on the streets. I see y'all stretched out, man. Scabs and sunburns on your skin. Pissed and smelling like all kind of manner of manure, man. All praise to the Most High. The Most High is taking you down. He's taking your government down. Right? You small hats, you upper echelons. Your history is destroying you. Your vain glory is what's taking you down. Because you wanna record and you wanna jot everything down that you've done, but chiefly it's through the Most High. The Most High put that spirit of vanity in you. So now, to this day, guess what? We're destroying you with the words of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and your own history, man. Can you read, King?
And for four, because you overstepped your boundaries, man. Right? You raped our sons, man. You fed our babies to alligators, man. Right? You've done the worst out of any captivity that we've ever been in. The worst. Again, the Most High already said that He will put us in captivity under a base people, a people that we're better than. And now they know who we are, but we got to come back. Go ahead. I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So
the Most High said His word ain't gonna go back void. He will not turn back the punishment thereof. That we spoke about in the book of Obadiah, the first chapter all the way down, right? Go ahead.
Because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Pursuing us with the gun, shooting us down in the house. Sonia Massey, the newest case. In many cases still happening as we're bringing out this lesson. It's never going to stop until his sins reach heaven. And the Most High sent His Son down to trample over them like grapes. Go ahead.
And did cast off all pity.
And cast off all pity, man. He cast off all pity because He know He ain't nothing. Go ahead.
And His anger did tear perpetually. And He kept His wrath forever.
And He kept it forever. Keep reading.
But I will send a fire upon Timon.
He gonna send a fire on who?
Timon.
He's gonna send a fire on Timon. We still talking about Timon. We still talking about Amalek. You can't get away from your punishment, Esau, Edom. We know your lines. We know your bloodline. We know where you come from, and we know where you're going.
All praise.
You're gonna be destroyed.
All praise.
That's a fact. Because my father says so. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Kick rocks, Esau. What the brother Phineas Gad said, he said, get back, Esau. I know about Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9, synagogue of Satan. Like the brother shout out the brother Phineas Gad, man. Okay? Stop playing, man. Come on, man. Keep reading. So he's gonna send a fire on Timon, man. Give me Obadiah 1 and 9 real quick. Give me Obadiah 1 and 9, man. Hey, look, we're not playing with y'all, man. Now you can go and you can do your extensive studies as well, man. But I just, this is just for a lot of the brothers and sisters that's just coming in, and also for those that need a little bit more information, man. Esau is the so-called white man, right? And if he's not, prepare for another captivity. If he's not, then that means we're going to go in another captivity. So you need to be praying and thinking that the Most High is showing you this, and praying and asking the Most High to please make sure that this is Esau, because the scripture said that it's going to end with Esau. So if this ain't the end, that means it's going to be another captivity we're going to have to go into for it to end, fool. Right? Stop asking for what you don't want. Read.
Book of Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 9.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Go ahead.
And thy mighty men.
The mighty men. The men of wisdom. Timon supposed to be the mighty men, the men of wisdom, the men of counsel. Pursuant to the book of Job 2:11 and Jeremiah 49:7. Right? You know, we can read that? Go ahead.
Oh, Timon.
Oh, who?
Oh, Timon.
Oh, Timon. Again. That's Esau mighty man, ain't it? He like Maccabees to us. You know what I mean? The mighty man is Maccabees. He must be mixed with Simon and Judas Maccabees. But Simon was smart, right? So this man was supposed to be his. Timon is the line of mighty men of counsel and wisdom. The Most High said he's going to send fire upon Timon. Right? It's over with. We know, we just proved that Alexander is a Timonite. And I've been wanting to come out with this lesson, but it escaped me a few times, man. But, you know, if anything was unclear, Salakia, we had a lot of bad weather. You know, we had to do the video in my van. It's a 350 engine. It's loud. I hope it's not too loud. And if anything that we said is unclear, Salakia. And if you learn anything, then we did what we were supposed to do. And you know, just like you sift through anything, hey, make sure that you get the points, write these precepts down, make sure that you understand, and look the stuff up. Don't just take my word for it. Look it up. I'm gonna put the links, not the links, but I'm gonna put, you know, my sources in the video at the end. So when we get through with that, we're gonna do that, right? So first of all, once again, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Paleo Hebrew is Hamashiach Wamalak Yahweh Shai, the King, Lord of Lords, right? And we're gonna say, Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala, Khan, Shalom.